It's fun. It's wild. It's Dad's Gone Crypto.
Welcome, guys, to Dad's Gone Crypto, and we are here with Crypto Dad Brian, and I'm Crypto Dad Sean, and welcome to our show. We have John Hatch on our show today, and he is the founder and owner of the Eco Hotel in Guatemala. He left America when he was very young, traveled the world, and settled in Guatemala and opened up a beautiful, stunning hotel. And you'll see in the backdrop exactly what we're talking about. He's also the co-founder of Cryptopia, which is a VC in a private group that looks at mid to top tier cryptocurrencies, and obviously you can invest in them if you belong to their group. And he's just released now something very cool called Apetopia. It's for the degen, meaning the degenerative speculative person, but a much needed voice in the community, in that space, to say, hey, this is high risk. There's lots of, but just if you're keen for a little bit of a punt, he shares some light on some projects that he's busy investigating and talking about, which is very cool. And if I'm not mistaken, Cryptopia has 28,000 followers, and Apetopia, of release today, basically has about almost 2,000 followers, and that's just under a month. So you can see how in a bear market, it's really doing fantastic. But more on that soon. Ryan, over to you. How's your week been? What's in the news? And any cool projects you've been catching your eye?
Yeah, good week so far. It's funny, the crypto market, of course, is crazy as usual. They've all the narratives going on right now. What was it? Gary Gensler's resigning. Then he isn't resigning. Then he is resigning. I don't know. Who knows what's happening there, right? Now. I say get that clown out of there personally. But who are they going to replace him with?
Just one of them. And I heard Zuckerberg was now giving Elon Musk a bit of a backlash, saying that I can build a better Twitter. He's creating a new community. I'm like, sheesh. All right,
he's got his Threads. Yeah. Is that what it's? I think it's called Threads. I haven't checked it out yet, but yeah, I saw people talking about it.
Something like 2 million downloads in under an hour. So he says he can do a better job than Elon. But I don't know. He doesn't have a personality.
It's funny
like
too.
Elon.
I saw people complaining about it because apparently it's tied to Instagram. Again, I haven't checked it out, but apparently it's tied to Instagram. And if you want to, once you join, if you want to delete your Threads account, it kills your Instagram too. So I saw a bunch of people online complaining about it because, they joined and then they didn't really want anything to do with it. And but then it was going to kill their Instagram account. So he's kind of forcing people, if they want to stay on Instagram, they got to keep their Threads too.
I saw a bit of a tongue-in-cheek tweet from Elon saying, well, Instagram is this fake world that people live in with no emotion and reality. It's like, if you want to create a world like that, I'd rather stick to my, Twitter with people, spamming my account or something like that.
Right.
So, billionaires going at it. It can only be good for the industry because that pushes innovation, that pushes the space, and they have to innovate quickly. So, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, I was really looking forward to the cage match they were saying they were going to have, but I don't know if that's actually happening, but I'd like to see that one.
I prefer some mud wrestling or something.
You're right. And then talking about new stuff, a friend of mine sent me this basically this new meme coin. It's a political meme coin, so depends on where your politics lie, but it freaking cracked me up. So I had to get out there, not financial advice, but I had to get out there and get myself a couple bags of it because it's hilarious. It's called Gaggle of Clowns, and or it's actually, I think the whole title is Bumbling Biden's and his gaggle of clowns. So it is freaking hilarious. But yeah, go check it out, gaggleofclowns.com. And they've got this whole plan they basically want to, they're trying to raise money to basically put billboards like all around the US about how Biden and all of his clowns are trying to ruin crypto and everything else. And I don't know, they've got plans for all kinds of advertising and stuff. To me, it looks absolutely hilarious. So I had to jump in.
Well,
but again, not financial advice. Don't
sounds like a
Don't do it
peaceful
on mine.
protest against the status quo. You know, it's they're not out
Right.
there shooting people. They're just saying, well, listen, if you're falling over yourself and mumbling words and stuff like that, perhaps you're a clown. I don't know. I'm in South Africa, so it's like I call him a clown. It's fine. I'm now on the FBI wanted list. Not yet, so I'm on their radar. Anyways. And without further ado, guys, welcome John Hatch to Dad's Gone Crypto. So, Jungle John, as they call you, why do they call you Jungle John?
Well, I guess because I live in the jungle. So yeah, I've been living in Guatemala for going on about 15 years now, and so I live in a beautiful remote jungle village, and I kind of run an eco hotel, and I kind of do my crypto thing.
Very, very
Fantastic.
cool. And Jungle John, tell us, first off, are you a crypto dad, and how did you get into the space?
I am a crypto dad. So I got two boys. I got Indy and Obi. Yes, I'm a nerd. Indiana Jones and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's where that came from.
Brilliant.
So my wife was cool enough to let me name the boys. So, and I'm a crypto dad. You know, I'm a YouTuber myself. I've been in crypto. I got into crypto at the top of 2018, right before the crash, like I think a lot of people did, and I just kind of watched, fell on my face, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks. And that was pretty much my initial intro to crypto, let's put it that way. And I pretty much, after everything crashed, I just sold everything. I threw it into ETH, and I really closed my wallets for about 3 to 4 years. And then I kind of was like, I should probably get back into this. And then I started, getting back into crypto, and little by little, it evolved into a crypto YouTube channel, and it's just been all downhill from there. in a good way. Like, not downhill in a bad way, but like downhill, like on a great ski slope, Full speed ahead.
Not being chased by a bear down slope.
Yeah. Exactly.
And John, tell me about crypto, and are you teaching your kids? How old are they, if I may ask?
They're still a little too young. They see
Okay.
Dad making all these funny videos all the time. So Indy's 6 years old and Obi's 4 years old, but they see me all the time on my computer doing research and making videos. And so my oldest son, he's all about, like, he wants to be like Dad, right? So he's always trying to make like his own YouTube videos. He's getting this tablet
nice.
and trying to record and stuff. So it's awesome. I do think that they will, when they get a little older, they'll start to grasp what it is I'm doing. And I would love to guide them on that journry for sure.
Oh, that's great.
When your son starts to outshine you on YouTube, then we put him up for adoption.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can't beat Daddy on followers here. What's happening here?
We'll just call him the jungle crypto kid.
Right?
Yeah. Wow. There we go. You got to build him a treehouse. You got to build him a treehouse.
Exactly.
Yeah. My little Geordie's 8 and my Haley's 6, and his 8th birthday, we were like, he's got some money now. Everyone gave me some presents. We're like, okay, so what are we going to do with your money? All right, we're gonna put a little bit in the bank because he wants his card and exposure to the bank. And I said, okay, what about opening up a crypto account? He's like, yes, okay. They're like, yes, we can open up a crypto account. He says, but why?
That's awesome.
Where am I going to see the crypto account? Well, it's a virtual account. And it says, but if you invest in Bitcoin and you put a little bit in, maybe one day you'll have enough, So it's like,
that's
he's
awesome.
so excited. But now he's irritating me every day for the last month.
How much has it grown?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait till I can start introducing the kids to that. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You guys have the young ones. My kids are in their 20s, so they put their own money into crypto now,
Nice.
rather than my money. So.
Nice. Love it.
So
Very
anyway,
cool.
John, you've been in crypto for a while now. Can you tell us some of your successes and some of your lows? Your highs and lows throughout crypto here.
I guess my low would be my start. In 2018 when I put about 30 grand in, and it crashed down to like 5. And that would have probably been my big low. And that's when the wife hated me and see, I told you. And I was like, oh yeah. I told you it's a scheme. I was like, but no, I powered through that, and then I think so. That was probably one of the lower moments in my crypto, and from there it's really been on an uphill climb. It's been growing. I've been, once I got back into it, it's just been a steady climb. Of course I've had some bad investments here and there. We all get into the wrong projects.
Right.
We, buy the top, we don't check the fear and greed index, and we make some bad decisions. The FOMO crypto, we hear everybody else talking about it and we're like, oh, I don't want to miss it. And then, it's so I think, those are the issues that I've kind of had, like pretty much standard issues that everybody in crypto has gone through. But, I think overall, I think my knowledge of crypto and my overall experience has been really positive, and I've been able to do so many amazing things since I've gotten into the crypto space.
That's great. So what if you're not in crypto, if you're not doing crypto at the moment, what are your hobbies? What do you do in the jungle when you're not working in the space?
So me and my wife and my boys, we own and run an eco hotel. It's Utopia Eco Hotel. That's why we have our crypto channels. It's like Cryptopia and Apetopia, because we have the Utopia Eco Hotel, so it kind of all ties into that. And so we run an eco hotel here in the jungles of Guatemala. And I like to do calisthenic workouts. I like to stay positive and healthy. Spending time with my kids. That's the great thing about me, is that we kind of live in this isolated place, so I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. That's one of the blessings that I have. And then, doing things like crypto, it gives me it takes a lot of my time, but it also gives me the ability to not have to do a lot of other work. So I'm able to really spend a lot more time than I think the average dad would gets to with their kids. So it's a big blessing.
That's great.
Family and crypto, hey? That sounds like a party.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So John, you mentioned you got Cryptopia and Apetopia. Apetopia is new, we'll get to that. But what makes Cryptopia, what is Cryptopia first of all, and what makes it special of other venture capitalist groups?
Well, so Cryptopia is basically, we started out just as a normal YouTube channel, and it's been evolving, since our start. So we really weren't sure the direction we were going in when we actually started it, and it's evolved into a VC. And, I've always had a huge passion for charity and giving back and wanting to help people and do things. And I think one of the big things that really sets us apart from any other VC or crypto or channel or influencers, anything like that out there, is that we really do try to do a lot of community projects, with involving our community, involving our members, and, giving gains and profits that we're making back to the community. So we're actually building a clinic here in the jungles of Guatemala through a NFT collection that we've started called the Karma NFTs collection. And that is directly linked to our VC. So as we mint and sell these NFTs, a percentage of the money goes straight to building the clinic. A percentage goes into a DAO investment. And then some money goes into marketing and whatnot. And then the people that purchase the NFT, it actually gets them a access pass to our VC, where they can purchase $750 and buy power and private sales, seed sales, different things that we're doing. So I think that's something that's really different from a lot of other VCs. I've not seen any VC linked to any type of a charitable thing that you can prove. Let's put it that way. Oh yeah, we've donated some money to plant some. We're planting some trees in the middle. Like, oh yeah, okay, great. So,
you're welcome, Mom.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I donated the wife a brand new Ferrari. But. So yeah, I think that's what makes Cryptopia a bit different than other projects. And then as far as our YouTube channel and our content, we've shifted gears now to where Cryptopia is making video content on upper mid-cap projects to top-tier blue-chip crypto projects, and then focusing on projects that we're doing raises for through our VC. So Cryptopia is going to be more of the safety, place. It's, we're going to be giving you those, top 200-300 cryptos, that are kind of solidified in the space. That, we don't have to worry about them so much, less risk, and then mostly focusing a little bit more on our VC, talking about the projects that we're getting involved with and different things like that. So that's kind of where Cryptopia has evolved to. That's kind of where that's gone.
Okay. Yeah, we've had Richie on the show a couple of months ago, and he was talking a bit about Cryptopia, and he said that you guys have a very good success rate of success. When I say successful projects to rug pulls,
Yes.
Often in the VCs, you don't know what you're investing in. You kind of do your homework, but you take the leadership from the guys above, and they do their homework. But sometimes, there are rug pulls, and the guys run, or the project collapses. And some
Yeah.
groups have more rug pulls than other groups, and your group seems to be a little more sound.
It
with
is
the Cryptopia side.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nobody, my favorite saying is nobody has a crystal ball in crypto. Like we just,
Sure.
nobody can tell what's going to happen. There's way too many variables, right? I mean, so all we can do is try to sort out the good from the bad as best we can. But I do think that, Richie does an amazing job with the VC. He really does. He takes his time. He really goes through it. He does his due diligence. And the projects that we're really getting now are just top tier things. Like I said, we're really, locked in really, really good with the Singularity DAO ecosystem now. So we're getting most of their projects for pre-sales, and that's just an amazing ecosystem. And so we're looking for these top tier projects, and and that's one of the main reasons too that we've kind of pivoted Cryptopia to get away from the low cap gem plays, because you don't want to make a video for a project and have them say that we're partners. And then all of a sudden our next video is the next 10,000x meme coin that rugs 2 days later, right? So it's like, you don't want to, we got to have that balance. So Cryptopia is evolving into that, secure pillar of security. I think that's what Cryptopia is going to stand for. And, then we've branched out into our new channel, Apetopia, so.
Apetopia, yeah. So that's the next one. So pretty exciting. And I think when you mentioned Apetopia, it's out of the starting blocks. Within a month, you got almost 2,000 followers. And it's 76 videos. We can see you've been busy. You've created something different, a little more speculative, a little more high risk, which is needed. It's a DGen play. Tell us a bit about how you've set it up that is different from just any YouTuber just shilling something.
Well, so the idea is that we want to keep it fun, engaging, kind of lighthearted community. A place where people can come and have fun. So we have a TG group, and it's, we sharing memes, laughing, joking, just kind of camaraderie. And as far as the videos and projects that we cover, we look for the high risk, high yield projects that are as least risk as possible. I mean, there's always going to be risk because, anytime that we're getting into a crypto project that's, under a $5 million market cap, I mean, it's high risk, but it's also incredibly high reward. So, we try to find, of course we're throwing the random meme coin in there because, there's money to be made. So on our channel, we try to find that balance between the super, super high risk and the meme stuff to more high risk, high reward, utility based projects, gaming, metaverse, things that are incredibly undervalued that have those, 8, 10, $20 million market caps that are tapping into huge, hundreds of billions of dollar industries, cloud storage, cloud computing, these types of things. There's a lot of projects out there that are incredibly undervalued. And so those are the kind of projects that we're really trying to find, those diamonds in the rough, those that can really get people those good gains. And, the idea for me around Cryptopia is creating a community for people that don't have a lot of money to invest. Because if you're starting out in crypto and you've only got $1,000, you know what I mean? And that's all I've got. And you could take $1,000 and you could put $1,000 in Bitcoin, and you're going to do, it's going to be great. It's better than having it in the bank, but you might turn that $1,000 into 10 grand. You know what I mean? They might do a 10x, and that's the reality. It's a sure thing, but it's not going to make you risk. It's not going to make you rich. It's not going to make you financially free. Whereas if you take $1,000 and you put it into a project that can do 100x, well, all of a sudden now you've turned $1,000 into $100,000. Well, now you can take that $100,000, put that $100,000 into some good quality top tier projects. You're out, your top 10s, your top 20s, your Maddox, your this and that. And now you've kind of set yourself up for financial freedom and a good future. You know what I mean? So I think that's the idea, is that with Apetopia is to try to allow the people that don't have a deep pockets to give them some opportunities, present them with things that we feel are opportunities. Hopefully, they work out for everybody, and it's if they do, then we drive them over to Cryptopia, and we can kind of show them those good long-term holds. So that's the idea.
Yeah. So when you're selecting projects to review with Apetopia, what are the criteria that you're using to figure those out?
Right now we're building. So we're looking to just try to create as much content as we can. I'm taking a lot of our content that we originally did on Cryptopia, the projects that are still strong. Like, we're covering a lot of, I don't know, gaming metaverse, Star Atlas, things like this. So what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm cherry picking, just to be 100% honest with you guys, how I'm doing it. I'm going back through when we started Cryptopia. We'd cover most projects, and I'm looking at the projects that are still strong, a year and a half later, that are still undervalued. And we're picking those projects, and I'm recreating that content, that's relevant today, new market caps, new everything, making those videos for Cryptopia, tapping into those communities so we can grow, basically. So that's where we're getting most of this stuff. And then, of course, like I said, right now we are in meme season, so we are picking some random meme coins that seem to be trending and doing really well, so people can make some great gains. Like I said, we've picked I hate meme coins. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. But there is money to be made. Like we did one the other day, Pepe 2.0. I mean, I can't stand it, but it's done like a 20x in a couple of days, and people are making great gains. So we made a video, we've covered it, and it's we state it's high risk, high reward. Take profits on the way up. You see that 1, 2, 3x. Pull out your initial, get out, and let the rest ride. It's a lottery ticket. And so we try to protect our community as much as possible, but we're mostly looking for those utility-based projects is what we're mostly focusing on.
Okay. And you said you have a Telegram channel. How do people find that, or is it
private,
or is it public?
No, it's a public one right now for Apetopia. We leave it in the description of our videos. Okay. It's just it's a Apetopia group, and basically you can go over. It's free to join. We will be starting very soon a paid version, just so there's less chatter. We've got about 340 people or so on it, so there's a lot of chatter and just stuff going on. So we will be creating a paid version that you will be able to pay with crypto. It's going to be an easy wallet connect through Telegram. Pay with crypto. It gives you access, so you don't have to go through Patreon and pay with your fiat. So it's going to be an amazing way. So
very cool. Very cool. I'm going to definitely check that out.
Yeah.
So switching gears a little bit, one thing we like to talk about, and because it's so prevalent here, mental health issues in crypto. Crypto just brings out kind of the weird behavior, right? I mean, you got to stay up late nights. You got the highs, the lows, all the emotional roller coaster. So can you give our audience some tips? Like how do you keep your mental health in check in the crypto space here?
For me, I think it's probably a lot easier than a lot of people have it. If I was working a 9-to-5 job, going to some cubicle that I hate, sitting in traffic for 2 hours, and then still trying to better my life and coming home and having to do like crypto research and, for 2 or 3 hours. And that's when you're staying up all night trying to, figure out how you're going to better your life in crypto. It's challenging. That's a challenging thing to balance, because you still got to get your sleep. You got to wake up and go back to that cubicle and sit in that traffic for 2 hours. Right. So it's going to, that's a lot to handle. It's a lot to take, and especially, I think it also comes down to as well as, crypto can be very stressful when, the markets are down because people are very emotionally attached to the numbers on their portfolio. And that's one thing I would say is don't allow the numbers on your portfolio to basically determine how you're going to feel for the day, right? Because that's one thing I see so many people do this. Like, I have so many friends that are in crypto and they're like, oh, my portfolio's down $20,000 and it's just horrible. And I'm like, so? I mean, like, it's a day. Do you not believe in crypto? Like, yeah, but Matic's down by this or that. It was $1, a week ago, and now it's down to 60 cents. And I'm like, yeah, but we all know it's going to be at the height of the bull run. It's going to be $3. So who cares? It doesn't matter. Don't let those little things get you down. Like if you're staring at it and like, oh my God, my portfolio just dropped by 20 grand. I mean, then you don't believe in crypto. I think that's the whole thing. Then you don't believe in it, because if you believe in it, I think we're in it because we know it's going to be something much, much bigger in the future. And of course, it's a rocky road. It's a rocky road between here and where we're going, but we know where we're going is going to be very big and it's going to change our life. And if you're sitting there allowing, a 20%, a 30%, a 50% dip in your portfolio to mess with you and completely ruin your day, then you need to basically assess your belief system, and if you really do believe in the projects that you're invested in. Because we know that, the market is manipulated and it goes up and down, but overall, I know it's going to grow. And that's kind of one thing I would tell people, to be very careful on not getting too emotionally attached to those numbers that they see, because they're just numbers on a screen, but the idea is that, we need to have that laser focus to get from point A to point Z, that's, and so that would be my thought process.
Absolutely. That's great advice.
So to sum that up, is basically don't let your wife see your crypto wallet in a bear market.
Never.
Nor in a bull market. Just never.
Never.
For the safety of your health, physical and mental.
Yes, exactly. 100%. And then, and I would also say, I really think for physical health and crypto or anything in life is, get outside. Like I said, I like calisthenic workouts, push-ups, just some easy body weight type trainings, but, moving is improving. And I think, and if we can, and I don't care who you are, that's why I like calisthenics, because I never have the excuse that I can't make it to the gym. Well, calisthenics, I get out of bed, I do a few push-ups, I do some sit-ups, I can do it wherever I want. And so I think, people are like, oh, I don't go to the gym because I don't, I'm too busy today. Well, calisthenics workouts is just something you can just, do it on the side of your couch, roll over from your chair at your office, and it helps you de-stress, getting those endorphins pumping, moving your body, getting that blood flow. If you've been sitting down for 3 hours, 4 hours, looking at a screen, looking at crypto, watching YouTube videos, whatever, get up, go run in place, do some jumping jacks, do a few push-ups, whatever. Get that blood flowing, sit back down. I can guarantee you're going to have a lot better mental focus on what you're doing, and you're going to make better decisions. So that would be something I would definitely recommend to people.
Yeah, I fully agree as well. I think what I've done I've always been in a gym for a good part of my youth. And it's like, now, where do you have the time to go to gym, right? You just don't.
You don't. Especially with being a kid, having kids, and
yeah, exactly. 6 to 8 p.m. was my time to go to gym, right? And the minute I had Geordie and Haley, I'm driving home, I got to go to gym. And I think, well, I've only got about 2 hours, because I've been at work the whole day, to see them before they go to bed. Is what's more important in life, So they were, and they still are. So around my office, I got weights, bags, pulleys, bicycle outside. And as I go through my walk, I do all these little couple of things, and I kind of make it a playground. So it's a little bit of something that adds up throughout the day, as opposed to dedicating 1 hour. So
it's amazing. And I'll add to that, I think it's an amazing thing when your kids can see dad doing something, because they learn by our behaviors and our habits. So if all they do is see us sitting around looking at the screen, never doing any exercise, never doing anything, and we're sitting in front of the TV, eating junk food, well, guess what? That's what you're creating. They're gonna mimic us through their life. You know what I mean? So if they can see us, hey, I see dad, he's working, but he's also taking care of himself. He's eating healthy. He's doing some workouts. Guess what? Our kids are going to follow in our footsteps. So I think it's great that they can see, dad doing those things. So.
Yeah, and also every now and again, I feel like a little bit of a sprint. I just tell my wife she's looking a bit chunky. Damn, gets that hard pumping. She was a Springbok sprinter, national sprinter when she was. So there's no chance. It's more screaming than I play dead.
That's funny. Possum. Yeah.
Possum. Maybe she'll go away.
That's funny. That's funny. That's great.
All right. So tell me about social responsibility. You obviously have the clinic going. What are some other cool things that have incorporated from a charity perspective inside? I think it's evolved. I've looked at a couple of things that you guys are up to. How have you created more options to kind of make this not just, I give money to charity, I just build, a school, or how do you infuse it into all of it?
As far as the cryptocurrencies, our NFTs, or as far as what Cryptopia is doing, what are
from a social responsibility point of view?
I mean, for me personally, it's just something I've always been deeply connected to. Like I said, from my eco hotel, I've always had this feeling of just giving back. I grew up in a, kind of a religious household, and it was, the give your tithe, your 10%, to whatever charity. And I never wanted to give that to a church. I always said, well, I'd rather give that directly to people I feel need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, as I've made money through my life, I just want to help people and do things. And whether that's, helping a poor person build a house, or, so as we had our eco hotel, I was always doing small projects, and then, just to help improve the lives of people around me, because if I can improve the lives of people around me, in return, that's also going to reflect and make my life better, right? By helping my community grow, and by helping, the people we love and we care for, So I think all of those things, I think that's kind of where my core beliefs and kind of have come from. And that's kind of grown into Cryptopia as well. And we've tried to instill those same types of values. But, me, Richie, and Michael, the three partners here at Cryptopia, we all have a very strong belief that, we want to give back, and we want to make the world a better place. And we thought, well, why not utilize blockchain technology? Why not use cryptocurrencies to instill some of those core beliefs that we all have? Let's find people that believe what we believe, And so we've tried to build a community of like-minded people, or people, for the most part, that say, hey, I like this. I like what those guys are doing, and they want to help us grow, and they want to be a part of what we're doing. It's not all just about the next big pump, right? So that's kind of what our whole thing has been about, is trying to find people that believe what we believe, so we can do projects, and we can, because the more we grow, the more we make, the more we can do, and that's what it really comes down to. So the more we succeed, we just bought a library for books for the kids at the local school, and we've our next little projects with bathrooms, and we got so many little things that we were doing, and it's amazing to be able to do that and tie in our beliefs to what we're doing in crypto.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah. So you had your eco hotel, and then you ventured into crypto.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of dads out there that also want to venture into crypto at more than just a investment standpoint. People are looking to get involved with the space and build something. Can you give our audience any advice on, how to get started, how to build something in crypto?
Well, I mean, that's a big question, right? Do you want to start your own YouTube channel? Do you want to be financially free or independent? I would say, start out small, test the waters, if you see an opportunity, take it, and depending on where you're starting at, are you starting out with $1,000? Are you starting out with $1 million? Right. I mean, so there's a lot of variables there. Right. So I think, if you're a person with a lot of money, you don't have to dedicate as much time to it, because let's say, if you want to just say, hey, I've got, a couple $100,000, I'm going to throw that. I can throw that into, a top 10 crypto project, and throw it into, Matic or this or that or whatever else, top 10 cryptos. And I'm going to make a 10X on my money. I'm going to have $1 million in the next probably 3-4 next bull run. Why not? That's fantastic. And you don't have to, you can kind of not think about it. You're on autopilot, and you're going to make a great return. If you're a person that is, has much smaller, you need to work it. You gotta be dedicated. You're gonna have to put that extra effort in, to get those amazing gains. So let's say you're a guy that's starting out with maybe $10,000. I would say find some YouTubers that you resonate with. I'm not saying that's Cryptopia or Apetopia, but I'm saying find some people that are presenting projects that you resonate with. So because this is going to cut a lot of time off. Now, I'm not saying that you follow these guys blindly. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. But, there's so many thousands upon thousands of crypto opportunities out there. And if you're new to crypto, it's overwhelming. And you're like, well, I don't know where I should put my money. And if you're out there and you're trying to sift through tens of thousands of projects, it's going to take so much of your time. It's going to be unreal. So I would say, take some time, find some YouTubers that you resonate with, that you like their vibe. They're presenting projects that you feel resonate with you. Maybe it's gaming, metaverse, maybe it's, utility, maybe it's, I don't know, it's staking. There's different YouTubers that fit different genres, and they're going to be presenting projects that might resonate best with you. Find that. And then basically, watch those YouTube videos, get some ideas, and then investigate those projects. Do not follow blindly. That would be my advice. Invest your money, and then as soon as you see some profits, take them. Like I said, for me personally, so my how I have grown my crypto portfolio, and it's been really, really well for me. I invest, $1,000 into a project, and with a little luck, that project does a 3-4x in a period of a couple months. You time it right, and it's and you're able to get that 2 or 3x. Well, I pull out my initial investment. I instantly, like as soon as I feel like maybe a 3x, my $1,000 is turned into $3,000. I pull out my $1,000. Maybe I pull out $1,200 or $1,300, and then I keep that free moon bag. I don't worry about it anymore. I just put it off to the side. It's a lottery ticket. I put it over there and I tuck it away, and I said, okay, there you go. I'm going to let that sit there. That's either going to do 100x from here, or it's going to go to zero. I don't really care, And now I've got my $1,300 or whatever, and I put it into the next project. And I look for that next opportunity. And that's personally why I'm personally holding over 230 crypto projects now. So that's just, I will, it's crazy, and most people think, oh, how do you manage all that? And I said, well, for me personally, and this is my strategy, and a lot of people tell me I'm crazy, but for me, I don't really manage it that much. I have it all put in CoinGecko. I sit there and I see it, and sometimes I see a project, hey, it's just pumped, 200% in the last week. It's a piggy bank. I'll take a little bit of profits on that, and I'm going to put it into one of my top tier projects. Fantastic. Right. And I don't have to worry about it. And if some of those projects go to zero, I'm not worried about it because I already took my profits out. You know what I mean? Right. I've alleviated that risk. And, we've all seen in crypto, we just never know what project is really going to blow up. I mean, which one's going to be the next safe moon that goes from nothing, or which one's going to be the next, bullshit project that goes from zero to hero in a matter of a month and makes people multimillionaires. Of course, we have ideas and we can pick good projects, but you never know what project's absolutely going to blow up. And so that's for me. I hold 230 lottery tickets, so that's how I'm looking at it. Whereas I know I can guarantee you in my portfolio, one of the projects I'm holding is going to do 1,000x. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you I'm holding a project that's going to do a 500x. I can guarantee I'm holding a project that's doing 100x. And I can guarantee you I'm holding some projects that are going to go to zero. But overall, I can guarantee you that I'm probably going to win. That's the thing, because I'm holding enough of the lottery tickets. You got the little scratch offs. You go to the gas station on the way home, and if you buy one, you might win. You buy 20 or 30, guaranteed you're going to win something.
Right.
So that's kind of been my strategy. It is a little bit more time and effort to do that, but I think it's a great way of growing your portfolio. And then as your portfolio gets bigger, and let's say you've turned $10,000 into $100,000. Well, now you can start to hone in a little bit, and you can start to dollar cost average into projects that resonate more with you. And as you've been in the space, you're going to see which projects are performing better, which ones are, because if you're new to crypto, it's this, we just have no idea, about it. It's so overwhelming, it's like which gaming and metaverse projects is going to be amazing, which, because there's so many of them out there. And over time, once we've been testing the waters, we're going to see which ones perform better. And then those are the ones where we should start doubling down on and growing. That's kind of been my strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great strategy. I mean, you're hugely diversified. So,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to get big ups, you're going to get big downs, but as long as you got your profit out at some point, you're
exactly.
you're golden,
that's it, because I always tell people, you never know, like Terra Luna, like whoever would have guessed that would have happened. And I know so many people that were holding, they're like, you don't want to hold more than 10 crypto projects. And then all of a sudden, they lose, something like that happens. And I had some friends, and that, Luna was probably one of their biggest holding. It was like, 60% of their portfolio gone.
Right.
Because they weren't diversified. You know what I mean? Like, and right. It's so there's pros and cons to those, all of these different strategies. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to have to find out which strategy works best for them. And, and there is no wrong strategy. It's about you. It's about you as an individual. So.
Right.
So, John, there's obviously some pros in diversification and, spreading your risk. What are some other tips you can give dads for not to get burnt in crypto?
Some other tips. I would say not to let yourself be sucked too deep down the rabbit hole. Keep focused on what's truly important. And I think, our time is the most valuable asset we'll ever have as humans. I think, and especially as parents, as a dad. And we can either spend that time with our family and our kids, or we can spend that staring at a screen. We can stare at a screen when we're our whole life. We can stare at a screen when we're, for the next 20 years, but we can never watch our kids grow up again. So I would highly recommend don't miss those moments with your kids when you can. So like I say, I'm blessed because I'm at home. Like my kids are running around right now in the background. I'm able to do my crypto. They run over to me like, Dad, come over, look at this drawing. I can stop. I go over, I do it, like, hey, let's go to the river and play. I stop and I can go down and play with them. So I'm truly blessed because I'm able to do what I'm doing and I can start and stop whenever I want. And I would highly recommend, though, people that are working a full-time job and then doing crypto, just make sure you don't miss those moments with your family and your kids, don't lose out on that for the potential gains in the crypto space. That's what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to manage your time, and
Yep.
family's more important than anything, right? So
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And of course, we're all in crypto because we want to have financial freedom, right? So that's it. And the idea is that we're going to create that freedom so we have more time with our family. So it's kind of the chicken and the egg, and it's like, so it's about the whole, finding. It's a balancing act, right? So for me, it's make sure you're this there. Make sure you go to the softball games with the kids. Make sure you still do all that stuff. And the great thing is, we've got our cell phones and we can do a lot of that stuff on the run. You know what I mean? So we can actually, we can kind of balance those two worlds, but just make sure that we don't get too wrapped up in the one that we forget the other, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, John, again, switching gears a little bit. We hear the term narrative all the time in crypto. Everybody's talking about the new great narrative coming up. So what, as far as the new bull run coming up and all this, why are narratives important? Like what does it mean? Why are they so important?
Well, for this probably sounds terrible, but I think, people are very, I call people like sheeple. People love to follow the masses. And when a narrative starts, whatever that might be, it doesn't matter if the narrative is good or it doesn't matter if the narrative is bad. It doesn't matter if we agree with the narrative. Once a narrative starts, the masses will always follow the masses, And so that's a big part of it. So, and we can see this, cycles, and we can see these trends, and we can see all of these types of things. And so once a narrative starts to take off, the people that can see those narratives first or can understand what narrative is coming is an amazing opportunity for us, and especially as investors or crypto investors. So for us, as we can see, I think this is the next narrative that's going to be coming into crypto. That's our opportunity. So if we can invest in those projects right now, we're going to make amazing gains. Yeah. So it's our job to be able to look into our crystal ball and see what those narratives are. Because if we can pick those narratives out, or we can see the writing on the wall, we're going to make some amazing money.
Yeah, for sure. So look into that crystal ball and tell our crypto dads out there what do you think the categories coming up here are, the narratives? AI.
I would say AI is going to be a huge narrative. I mean, that's just. It's everywhere. It's Chat GPT. You've got this. I mean, it's just what is happening in the world. The Googles and the Meta and the Apple. Everything is gearing and moving towards AI. And it's coming. It's going to come hard. It's going to come fast into the crypto space. I also think gaming and metaverse. A lot of people are like, the metaverse is dead. That was last bull run. No, that was just a teaser. Sneak peek. It was a teaser. It was the trailer. It was just starting to take off, and they were kicking off, and then the bear market started to hit, and then of course everything went down. Just because a project is down by 90% does not mean it's dead. I mean, So like I tell people, if you can go and look for projects that are still developing, that are still following their roadmap, that still have a strong community, that are down 90 or 95% from their all-time high, that's a good buying opportunity. Now, of course, if you're looking at a project and they haven't made a tweet for the last 6 months, their community's dead and they're not following their roadmap, you probably don't want to invest in that project. But if the community's active, if the developers and the devs are still moving forward and they're, creating the metaverse and it's developing, trust me, those are the projects that are going to come back with a vengeance. And I think if you can even find something that crosses those two narratives where it's AI and metaverse, that's even stronger because, you look at, like I said, once again, narratives, you're looking at Meta, they're creating the VR headsets. You look at Apple's creating their new VR headsets. And these guys aren't stupid. they know what's coming. They're developing. They're putting these hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in the development of this stuff for a reason. They're not doing it because they don't want to make money at it. They know they're building it and developing it because they know it's the next trend. It truly, I do see, like it, love it, hate it. It's, Ready Player One is kind of the future. I mean, we're going to see, it's coming. And there's, I think that, we saw a lot of these, mobile workspaces, people working from home, and we're going to see so much of this through the metaverse. It's just such an untapped market. So yeah, for me, gaming and metaverse, AI, or a combination of those two, if you can find any crossovers on those types of project platforms, that's where you're going to see the biggest gains, in my personal opinion. Not financial advice.
I happen to agree with you. So,
yeah.
Speaking of speculative, could you perhaps, and it's not financial advice, but can you perhaps give us 2 picks that you feel might have the best opportunity in the bear market pushing into the bull market in the next cycle?
Oh, there are so many. There are so many.
One AI and one gaming, or one mix?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can do that. I would say as far as for AI, I really have to say I love Singularity DAO. I love their ecosystem. So we've had an opportunity to work with them on so many different levels and different projects that they're putting out. I think anything in the Singularity DAO ecosystem is going to be amazing. I think Singularity DAO, we can easily see do a 30, 40, 50x, if not even more in the coming cycles, because they're creating such a big, broad ecosystem, and everything is tied back to the Singularity DAO. So I think that is an incredible, basically, or platform, or basically they have such a big ecosystem. And I'm going to add 2 on here, because one project that Singularity DAO just launched or is getting ready to launch is Sophieverse, which touches both of these narratives. So Sophie, if you don't know, is is the famous robot that, basically artificial intelligent robot that speaks and goes to all the conventions and everything. They've partnered up with Singularity DAO to make a metaverse around her and her story. So it's AI based, and it's a metaverse, and it's through the Singularity DAO ecosystem. And this is a project that's getting ready to launch. We did a raise not too long ago through our VC, and I think that that's definitely a project to keep on your radars. It hasn't launched yet, but that's one of those projects that has that crossover that fits those 2 narratives that I think could see some bullishness in the coming cycles. Now, as far as a project just on gaming, I have so many favorite gaming projects. There's the high risk, high reward ones, and then there's the more stable ones. I guess I'd go a little more probably middle of the road. I'm quite bullish on Star Atlas, to be honest. I think that's it ticks a lot of the boxes. Star Atlas is it's beautiful gameplay, great team. Their tokenomics are not so great. That's the only thing I'm a little on the fence about. But so you have to kind of trust the team,
right?
but
which is always terrifying. But
it's always terrifying. But it checks a lot of those boxes. And then there's one other one I'm going to just throw out there. Sorry, I know I should only do 2, but yeah. Victoria VR is an absolutely amazing metaverse project, and it's like hyper realistic graphics, and it touches base into the whole VR thing. Like I said, that's Apple. They're creating these VR headsets. Where are people going to use these things? So they're going to look for the best VR platforms. And Victoria VR, in my opinion, is a truly undervalued gem. I can't remember exactly, but I want to say it's around a $20 million market cap. And some of the stuff they're creating is just mind-boggling. Like, I look at the graphics and it's just hyper realistic. So I'm really excited about that one as well. So hopefully that confuses everybody enough on what I like.
Hey, you're diversified.
Yeah, exactly.
And the dads listening out there, take some notes and just maybe perhaps look into it, do your own research. And if you feel comfortable, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, it's that time of the show where Dad's got jokes. It's a special time of the show.
Oh, that's funny.
I hope you got a good dad joke.
Who starts?
There.
You guys starting?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so how the game works is that we'll each have a joke, and the objective of this is not to laugh. If you laugh, basically the other person gets a point, right? And we'll tally up the scores towards the end, and the losers have to down at least 2 beers later this afternoon or evening. That's the punishment.
I've started.
Good
It's been
man.
a rough day already.
No stress. All right, so let's do this. John, you are going to start off the dad jokes. And then it's going to be Ryan, and I'll finish off with my award-winning joke.
All right.
Just to give you guys a bit of a chance. And go.
So why do golfers take an extra pair of socks with them when they go golfing? Because they might get a hole in one. Pretty corny. Yeah, I know. That was a corny one.
Sean told that one a while back, and we gave you a little better reaction than we gave his version of it.
Where's my shame? Shame.
That's all right. Dad jokes are meant to be repeated.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Dad's jokes.
Exactly.
John, that's 1 beer for you later. All right, Ryan, you are up.
Well, John mentioned calisthenics earlier, and I've really been trying to get into shape lately, so I did some lunges. It was a big step forward.
Nice one.
Oh, smart and witty, Ryan. Someone got it all this morning. All right. All right.
Go ahead, Sean.
So, how did everybody celebrate the 4th of July in 1776? They did a little independent dance.
I'm just shaking my head at you. as a proud American,
you need to drink.
I cannot get behind that joke.
You need to drink 2 beers on that one.
I'll stick. I won't do politics again. That's it. All right. I'll drink a couple of beers as punishment. All right, Ryan, you take it this week. Well done.
Thank you.
Smart and witty. All right. Awesome.
Like it.
All right, guys. So that concludes our show for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the show, please, obviously give some comments down below. And also, just one more time, John, can you just tell us where can we find you and where can our audience go to find out more about Cryptopia, Apetopia, and the socials?
So I'm sure I'll give you links to all of our socials. You guys can probably post in the description below. But yeah, I mean, if you want to find us on YouTube, basically we have Cryptopia, just Cryptopia YouTube channel. Like I said, that's for the upper mid caps, the blue chip, and basically focused around our VC. And then we have Apetopia, which is our lower cap, more degen plays, high risk, high reward type channel. And you can find us under Apetopia on YouTube, on TikTok, on basically all the different Instagram, all the different socials. So you'll be able to find us. So just under Cryptopia or Apetopia.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll link to those. Be sure to send them over, and we will put those in the description, and everybody can easily find
Perfect.
John,
appreciate it.
Thank you
so
very much for your time. We appreciate it and hope to have you on soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, John. This was a lot of fun.
And if you guys are ever in Guatemala, feel free to come visit. You can come stay at my Eco Hotel, and we can do a show down here sometime.
Fantastic.
So.
I can't wait, man. I'm probably going to wait until our winter, though. So we actually have a little bit of nice weather here in Cleveland, Ohio now, so I'm enjoying it. So.
Cleveland, Ohio. I grew up in Columbus,
No
Ohio.
way. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing. Small world.
Right. Well, hey, I'm going to come visit you down there in Guatemala when it's cold here. You know what the winters are like. So.
Oh, I do. All right, guys.
Thanks a lot, John.
Take care.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The material and information presented in this recording are for entertainment purposes only. Do not misconstrue what you hear as investment or trading advice. Always do your own research. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the guests on this recording are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Dad's Gone Crypto or its hosts.